certifications on file in the office of the Township Clerk. Advance written notice of this meeting was posted on the bulletin board and the municipal building. Was mounted well 7 times in courier post and was mailed to all persons who requested and paid for such notices.
Thank you. Communications?
Mr. Mayor, the only thing I have is you should all have it in your packet. I think you've made copies of it. The July 15th at, I believe, 7 p.m. Is it 7 or 7:30?
6 p.m.
Okay, 6 p.m. It's close. At the Burlington County Culinary Arts Center is going to be a Buy Burlington County workshop initiative. It's going to be hosted by the freeholders and mayor and council. It'll be on our website, and I believe there's flyers over there. That's all I have.
You have an electronic copy of this?
I'll email it to you.
First up is a public hearing, foul license application for 311 Shreve Street. The applicant here. No. Okay. What's the code roll on it? They're always here.
I don't think proper notice was made. I mean,
That's it?
yeah, proper notice was made. I mean, you know.
So we table this. This is paperwork. We don't hear it then without them hearing it.
Yeah. My opinion, with all the problems that we've had there with them, you know, in my opinion, it should be a denial until they can come forth and say a reason why they should.
I agree. I mean, if they want to show the reason, they should probably be here. I mean, you're free to vote on it without them here, since it was listed in the notice.
Well, that's the question. If they're not here, does the application just stay, done, or?
It can be done and they can reapply, or you can table it and allow them another opportunity. You could even vote to approve it if you wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the will of the council? Do you guys want to vote on this?
I think a motion to deny the application until they come back for an application, despite the information we got over the past couple of days.
Okay. Is that the proper procedure?
That's fine. Once you take a second, you should allow the public to comment on it for this, because it is a public hearing.
Take a second and then ask.
Regardless, you should allow the public to comment.
Before you take a second.
I was going to say, Mr. Mayor, I would indicate there is.
After a second.
I would indicate there is one resident here to be heard on this.
All right then. So do I have a second on denial of this application?
I'll second.
All right. Now I'll open it up to the public. Anyone who wants to speak on this foul license application, please come forward, state your name and address for the record.
My name is Richard Horowitz, and I see two good first names.
How you doing?
As well. I live next door to 311 at 269 Shreve Street, and have lived there for 42 years. And I'm here to speak against it in no uncertain terms, and I have 6 or 7 reasons I'd like you all to know about, and ask that you not table it, but you deny it outright. For 3 years, these people have had roosters that would wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and unlike an alarm clock, you can't just tap it shut. The rooster crows from 4 till 8, every morning. They haven't cared. For 3 years, they've had chickens in a so-called coop, except that they built it so poorly that the chickens escape and have been over on my property, digging up everywhere, and with their sharp claws and on the ground cover. I have talked to them any number of times about both the chickens coming over, and they just don't care. Oh, they fly out, or they go under. I said, well, build it better. And nothing has worked. They just don't care. I guess it was, I'm trying to think, maybe April, I finally called the police to see what can be done about these roosters in particular. And I was given, I have to check notes to make sure I have the names right. And I talked to Vicky Conover, whose boss, the police chief, told me to talk to Phil Garside, the code enforcer and this is, I'm not sure whether he's county or township, but township. And he's been helpful and explained to me that they don't have a permit, and that they're not allowed to have roosters at all anyway. But just to give you an idea, I'm trying to be a good neighbor. Last fall, there was this incredibly loud rooster. They had 2 or 3, but one that was really bad. And I said to them, you know, please get rid of it. It's just unbelievable. And they, oh well, this is my sister's. My sister's pregnant. She owns a lot. We're taking for 9 months. I said, I'll buy it. You know, what do you want? Well, they said we'll kill it if you pay us $200. I trying to be a neighbor. I gave them $200. They did kill the rooster. It's fun.
Wow. I'm glad I opened this up to the public now, I'll tell you. It's not funny. Wow.
It's nothing funny.
Wow. This is, gosh.
And I gave them $200. It was worth it to me to try to be a good neighbor. This was last fall, before I called the police. And they said they got rid of it. Okay, winter goes by, in the spring, they're up to 3 roosters. You know, I was had. Fine. Phil gave a summons, which they didn't pay. Police came, and they had 3 roosters at one time. A policeman whose name told me about this, did I get it right? Nick Lalina. And he got the animal control to take 2 of them away, and I said, what about the one back in the coop? They had moved the coop from directly alongside my property to back in the woods a little bit more. And sure enough, he said, well, the woman said this is all they had, the only roosters they had. I said, Nick, you know, okay. Next morning, rooster crowed, got me up 5, not 6. So Lalina was actually taken to the cleaners, you know, on this, same as I was. It was just depressing. Now, it is true that subsequently that rooster's gone. There is quiet now. They did build a different coop in this small backyard that they have in the woods. However, it is still about 10 feet from my property line, not 25 feet, as Phil says it's supposed to be. And the smell is gross when you think about the kind of rain we've had over the last couple weeks. They don't clean up the feces. The smell is there. They never even cleaned up from the old quote coop that's right alongside my property. So now there's 2 plots of land that have this smell emanating from there. Another reason is truly environmental pollution. If you go out Shreve Street, just on the other side of their neighbors and really fairly close to their backyard, is a kind of a culvert, a little, you can't call it a tributary, that goes into the Rancocas. That feces is going to go right in. This is woodlands. This is back, you may know Paducah Road and that dirt road back there. We're in the woodlands. I'm right on the Rancocas. This water from this culvert that goes under Shreve and down goes into the creek where I swim, where my neighbors downstream swim, and they just don't care about the environment. We're in the woods. This is wetlands. It's you can't build on it. So it's now, I think, to some degree, polluting because of there being, and that's probably only 25 feet away. This little tributary. So I think that's environmental pollution for sure. you know, you may think that ducks and chickens, if you hear them once in a while, you might think that's cute. If you hear it, you know, all day, every day, you know, it ceases to be cute, that sort of noise pollution. And then, I guess it was Phil Garside told me that they're not even owners, they're tenants.
Yeah, I was going to interject with that. What I discovered today, I reviewed, this actually, your first call to us was April 8th. I went and reviewed the whole case.
Memory's good, hey.
And talking to the code enforcement officer today, it's the sister's the actual owner of the property.
Now, I don't trust the sister either, because what if she did in fact give the rooster while she was pregnant? My point being that if you give this permit and they're allowed chickens, this woman, this neighbors, they're going to find a way to get roosters back because they want chicks. They've always had, you know, that. So the easiest way to make sure that they're not going to get a rooster back is just not to give them the permit to have the fowl.
They don't have a permit now, you know.
They don't have any permit.
Right, and there's roosters.
Well, the roosters are illegal, permit or not. A rooster is not permittable. So no matter what, the roosters are, you know, an illegal animal, but you don't even have to tie that in. The whole list of things you gave up to this point is it's a nightmare.
And this has been going on with April from municipal end with the code enforcement officer. We've got very little cooperation from them. They had to go to take the enforcement.
I waited 3 years. I tried talking to them. I tried anything under, I mean, $200 is not, you know, chicken feed. And
whoa!
Could not resist. And I didn't play that one.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I have to swear.
You've been waiting for that.
I think there's an awful lot of reasons not to table this. Deny it, please, immediately. And see what we can do, because otherwise I'm going to be calling the police, you know, frequently.
Which you should, you know,
I didn't.
I would have said, hey, you know, you got to call the police on that. You're going to still end up calling because it sounds like they're just going to continue doing this. They've been doing this without the license. There's animals there right now,
Well,
right this minute.
What can happen was if it is denied, if we issue the summonses, then we can go and get an administrative warrant, take animal control of this and seize all the, you know, the animals there. Am I correct, George, in that? That would be that's our next course of action. So if it is denied, we give them a notice, X amount of time to remove them. If they don't, we fine them, we go get a seizure order, and then we go back and arrest the chickens.
Now if they get another batch of chickens though.
And we do it again.
Okay.
It's no different than any other criminal
But
statute.
the process will be more streamlined every day after you do it. It'll be greased, basically.
Yeah.
Because the code enforcer did say, you know, they're entitled to apply for a permit. So that's why it had to come before you, before the police could do what they're going to do.
The lady actually showed up a couple of meetings back. You know, I'm ready to push for this thing.
I don't talk to them.
I'm surprised she's not here. She, you know, really is.
Mr. Mayor, I recommend that when you do this, because I didn't get a copy of the agenda for tonight, just do this, redo the motion if you're to deny it, if that's the council's pleasure, and do it by resolution, just in case, so that I can prepare a resolution stating the various reasons which council has expressed and adopted on this for the denial, just to make sure it's certain, because I didn't get a chance to look at the ordinance, I didn't know this was on the agenda.
All right, well, once we close the public session, you remind us of the process. They'll have to redraw their motion, type of thing, and then do another. Go your direction. Okay. You got it all? Al? All right, you've been all in 3 years, huh? I can't believe it. You're a saint. Should be 3 saints going on in
But you know, when you live on the creek and you have this, you know, this great area, you want to, the 2 previous neighbors were just, they looked out for my property when I wasn't there. They were wonderful neighbors. I have to call you for another problem.
one item at a time.
I know that. It's not for tonight, but I have to, I just do. You have to tell me who. Phil says it's not him, so you've got to tell me what to do.
We have a policy, any police matters you'll take to the chief.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay?
Thank you. Thank you all.
All right. Anyone else want to speak on the foul application? Anyone here for that? Anyone else? No? Okay, then we'll close the public portion of this, this hearing. And, you guys that made the motion, you heard George's.
Can we just,
Amend it, you can just make it redo your motion, it's fine. Just to do it, to adopt the resolution denying it and directing me to just prepare the resolution to say for reasons. In case it's needed, because I just want to double check by the statute so that we have the force that the chief wants.
So make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution number 2013-117, denying the application for license for 311 Tree Street.
For the reasons stated, including the fact that the applicant's not here.
For the reasons the applicant's not here.
Okay, all right, second to the motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call on the motion as read.
Mr. Belton?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. DeFalco?
Yes.
Mr. Downing?
Yes. Wow. All right, we have the approval of minutes, executive session minutes of June 24th, 2013. Do I have discussion on those minutes? Any discussion? No discussion? Action on the executive session minutes from June 24th.
I'll make approval to approve.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Belton?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. DeFalco?
Yes.
Mr. Downing?
Yes. We have the approval of minutes for the council meeting of June 24th. Do I have discussion on those minutes? Any corrections? Seeing none. Action on the council minute, June 24th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of June 24th, 2013.
First, do I have a second?
Second.
Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Belton?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. DeFalco?
Yes.
Mr. Downing?
Yes. Great. Public questions on resolutions. Please state your name and address for the record. Public comment on this portion is limited to questions on below resolutions only. Open up to the public. My right, your left. First row, questions on the resolutions on this agenda. Second row. Fourth row. Fifth row. My left, your right. First row, resolution questions. Second row. Third row. Fourth row. Fifth row. Last wall. Okay. Close the public portion, or public questions on the resolution portion, and bring it back to council. Do we have anything that you guys would like to discuss here regarding these resolutions? Any discussion on these resolutions?
I have a discussion, if possible, I'd like to make a suggestion to do this as a consent.
Well, do you want to discuss, or do you want to do consent?
I'm saying I don't have anything to discuss.
Okay. Anyone else? No? All right, consent sounds good. Let's go with a consent agenda for 2013-111, 2013-112, 2013-113, 2013-114, 2013-115, 2013-116. Do I have action on the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as read by Mayor Dow.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Belton?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. DeFalco?
Yes.
Mr. Dow?
Yes. Okay, we have approval of department head reports. This is a holdover from the last meeting. That's the court for May 2013. Do I have discussion on this report? Anyone want to discuss it? Okay, see no interest in discussing it. Any action on this? Department head report, court May 2013.
I'll make a motion to approve the department head reports.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. DeFalco?
Yes.
Mr. Dow?
No. Approval of the bill list. Any questions on the bill list?
I had a couple.
Start with Mr. Dalton's bill list question.
Chief, on the all systems go, there appears to be, and I'm not sure if it's a duplicate, and maybe you can explain to me, what it is, but it says a yearly monitoring fee.
Yeah, we had we switched fire alarm services, that's one yearly monitoring fee. And any of the offices, and as well as prisoner processing, where a police officer may be processing a prisoner alone, and offices where there's cash, there's panic alarms. And if there's a problem, for instance, if there's an issue in court, they can hit the panic alarm, it goes to our dispatcher, and we're dispatching.
So you're just saying there's multiple locations,
Yes.
basically, that are monitored?
Yeah, one is the fire alarm, and the other is the panic alarm system.
Okay, so it's not a duplicate, it's
No.
an additional location?
Yes.
Okay. That was one of my questions. On page 4, I guess we'll get there. One question mark, yeah. Yes, historic. I've never seen bills like this for historic in the years, the 3 years that I've been here. I know he's a new consultant. Is his contract different than, significantly different than the one we had for previous?
No, I will pull his contract. There was a question that came up on that I had saw myself looking at it, because he's getting pretty close to what he's capped at. And
Yeah.
we still have,
Six
few
months.
meetings to go through, and I know some of the stuff he was doing, he was cleaning up from previous year, but I want to give him a call and talk to him and just say, hey, look, this is where you're at with your contract and stuff like that. So
Well-
there was a couple other things too where I had given their board some advice on how to handle certain things. You don't always have to,
Call it. Well, I guess, is it structured not to exceed?
Yeah, there is actually, George prepared that, there is a not to exceed. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but I know when we did take a look at it before, I was looking at this and thought, wow, he's getting kind of close to the top of his, whereas I think like Wayne used to bill like $900 a month or something to that effect.
Right.
So,
Okay.
I'll get
So
you
you're
a copy
looking
of
into
that
that.
contract.
Yeah, that was.
It just seemed like everything came in all at once, and I don't know if they held off on their building or what, So,
Well, no, I mean,
the building.
right, but to have a big, I know we're meeting every other month, and that was the other thing, is that, there's a monthly bill here, and I think they're only meeting once a month.
Right. But he's still, I guess, reviewing the application.
The fast tracking and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, as long as you're looking into it and there's a basis for the billing, it just looks a little out of line for me. And then page 13 and income, there must have been something there. I guess Premier Technology Solutions.
They were February bills that we received I guess, May, sometime like that, and I did call them. There was actually 3 or 4 of them, and I got them down to the 2 of them. There was 2 of them that I basically told them we're not paying.
Okay.
For one reason or another, you know.
And so is QSend replacing, because I remember Premier Technologies is gone, correct?
No, yeah, QSend is our web service. Premier was the overall maintenance, and we
Right.
didn't appoint a new maintenance until, I think, March.
Okay.
March 1, somewhere in there, March, the first meeting in March, whatever that was.
Okay.
Second Monday.
So is the bill, okay, so that was both Premier, you got it down to 1, and we're, okay. So I was saying, we're still paying them, and we weren't happy when we had them.
Right. And these popped up, it was one of those things where it's like, I'm like, well, wait a minute, we're worried, why didn't you send these in March?
Okay. And I'm gonna have a couple questions at the end of tonight about this website hosting in our, basically our computer thing in general. And so that's fine. And QSend is the new website hosting.
Yep,
And that's a yearly fee.
And that's the system that, everybody's been, I call it a ticketing system that's been actually working out pretty well for me. As far as assigning jobs out when they come in, it's, instead of making phone calls, just forwarding emails or shooting emails, and then it kind of gives me a, once we're done, like I received one about code enforcement today, forwarded the email, they reply back to me, and now tomorrow morning I can go in and close it out. It automatically shoots back to the resident, what action we took.
Okay.
And do we have a approve on? I just want, just to clarify one thing for you, so you know, Houston Technologies is not in any way related to website email hosting. So when you get your email, that is Fitzgerald and Company, just so you know.
And then Chief, I just saw the bill, so I did have to ask the question. It's not a question about the bill. I've never walked into a Sherwin-Williams store and spent less than $260. So, but it did bring me to the fountain when it mentioned the fountain. The fountain is peeling?
Yeah, what we have to do is, they haven't done it in a couple of years, is has to be completely stripped, and we have to apply this, it's like an acid to it, before we can do it, but I didn't want them doing it in 90-degree weather, stripping it down. And so in the fall, they're going to strip it completely down, sandblast it, do it with this acid, and then.
From what I'm seeing, and I mean, I haven't, been watching it, just turned primer red. But from what I'm seeing, and maybe you could check with who painted it, because I know we just painted it, the paints that they use, but it looks like they're using a latex primer over an oil, or a oil-based primer over a oil-based finish over a latex primer. I know that somebody bought us the paint.
Yeah, the historical, well, we bought it and they reimbursed us. I'll have to check with them, but Mike Costa, who's done it a couple times, I think actually was in touch with the company regarding it, the painting, and when it started peeling, he knew, and he got on the phone with the company as to what the issue was, and they told us what the corrective action to take with it was.
Okay, so the paint's not actually found.
We also bought some traffic paint, things of that nature. They needed some more paint to cover up some playground stuff.
Okay.
Stuff down the garage.
All right. And it wasn't a question about the paint, it was more about the peeling of the fountain.
Yeah, I saw that too. That was fun to see sitting there in traffic.
Okay. We were going to have it beautifully photographed. There was part of that marketing grant that has a photographer going around taking pictures. The fountain came up, and I said, nope, you got to wait on that one. So that was it for me for the bill list.
Okay, Jason? Lou? No list questions? Rich? Yes. I know it's of small value. Why they still the bill for parking, okay?
No, that search for us. Alexis, she's the attorney who's dealing with bonds when they were going back and forth with Phoenix.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah.
I've spoken to her many times.
Yeah.
We consulted her with regard to other things.
When they were putting together that financial thing we went over in executive, that was part of it, so
Okay.
calls had to be made.
Okay. And then you answered career technology. Is there a requirement to use an ISDN line for the court?
They what?
Is there a requirement to use an ISDN line?
I believe it's for that.
That ISDN line is probably for this TV
It's-
system.
we do
Is
the-
that for the Polycom? The video conferencing unit that's over there?
Yeah, that's for the jail, when we do all the prisoners through there, then the camera, you can see the judge, so we don't have to physically bring the prisoners here unless it's a trial.
That could probably be done through a network connection, right, as opposed to a monthly.
I'll take your word for it, they're gonna be
I
done.
don't know.
I think it has to be, it has
Part
to
of the
be.
system.
Yeah, secured.
It's a jail
And it's gotta
system.
be
Yeah.
tied to the county.
Yeah.
All right,
Look into
I was
it,
the
whatever.
question, didn't that, you have discussion over it?
Yeah, every courthouse has the same, it's all. Okay. All right, I have nothing. So, do we have action on the bill list?
Make a motion to approve the bill list.
Second?
Second. Roll call?
Mr. Bellis?
No.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. DePaolo?
Yes, with the exception of standing from Parker McKay.
Mr. Johnson?
No. Okay. Next up is old business. Anyone have any old business that they want to kick around? I'm Jason. Wayne, old business?
Chief, how are we making out with all this rain? It's just making me think about it more and more. And I was up at the mount the other day, and there's some nice ruts in there now.
Yeah, I think about the rain about every 5 minutes when I see it coming down like this afternoon in the building. And I'm going through, I pulled all the minutes. Bill Long and I have been back and forth over this. And I'm trying to find minutes from the public hearing where the design was approved here. He told me that the design was brought before a public hearing, it was explained, and it was approved. Wouldn't necessarily say by this body, but...
Is he really, I mean, he's really feeling as though they have no liability whatsoever to have a better design on a hill, on a mountain, that's the best job they can do? Is that what you're getting from him?
I'm just relaying to you what's being relayed to me, and I want to
So
pull the minutes myself and see for myself. I've been to every council meeting for the last how many years. I mean, I do remember discussion on it. I don't remember specific design discussion, but I want to see if that's in there.
Us approving a design, okay, and it fails when we hire an engineer, it's like asking, us to approve a search warrant or something. We're not a judge, that's not our job. They designed this
I agree with
to
you,
go out to bid,
and
and they are responsible for the result.
I agree with you 110%, but we had a conversation on Friday about it, and I started researching it again today because we went back and forth on it, and I wanted to put something in writing to you and something back in writing to him regarding this issue, because I was up there as well, and it's something that now somebody's going to have to go up there and fix. And it'll probably be, our guys going up to do it. I don't think they should. I mean, I realize you got to do maintenance over the course of time, but within 6 months of it being done,
So if you prove that Randy Rothmel, because I kind of remember her asking that
I know
question.
too. I don't have to prove it. I agree. I mean, it doesn't.
She asked the question,
Doesn't
and
take
the
a rocket
engineer was in the room.
scientist to figure out. You put wood chips on the slope, and you get an inch and a half of rain in an hour, where it's all going to go. I mean, I'm not disputing that with you.
So if we prove that Randy Rothmel asked that question.
I know she asked that question.
Okay.
No, that was after the fact. She asked that once it was already started, because there was a question between the water bars and also about the material being used.
Correct. I remember the material.
And we went back, and that was the material that was in the original specs for it.
Okay.
And the water bars weren't, they were okay with that design. When I checked on that and reported back, that was, design was approved, and I thought, well, first real heavy rain, it's going to come down Prospect. I didn't realize it was going to come down High Street. But, so, like I said, I mean, this is one of those ones where we're going to go back and forth, but it's my personal opinion that they should fix it.
Well, it's one member of council's as well, who was our engineer.
Did they have a performance bond? We were asking that before. Is there, a bond on this at all, or no?
Well, it's not the contractor. The
They did it to
contractors followed the
specifications.
design.
They did it to the design specifications, so it's not really the contractor's
The
issue.
engineers themselves don't put performance bonds up for what they design. So if a bridge that they design was to collapse, you can only go to the construction company. You can't go back to the engineer.
Well, I think you would have to take some kind of legal action or insurance on that. I mean,
We could amp it up to a bridge design. I mean, if this was a bridge or a dam or something crucial, I mean, we are talking about an engineer that did
I mean, and that's what professional insurance is for. If they made a mistake in the design.
There you go. Insurance, something.
If they want to turn it over to their insurance company because they made a mistake in the design, then, they can, I mean, that's what professional insurance is for.
so my hope was to have had that information by the end of the day, but I still didn't finish to it. But I'm going to put something out to you this week with it, and just so you know when we're talking about the dates. I understand what you're saying, but you need to have the information also.
Okay. Does anybody else have a problem with this design, or does anybody else on this council think that our engineers should be looking to resolve this for us besides me? Because maybe that would help in Steve's communication back and forth with them. I think that they need to know that, we're disappointed. So does anybody else think that it's an issue other than me?
Well, it's clearly an issue. The fact that it failed, the fact that it was covered, extensively, and if you're a business guy and if there's an insurance policy that covers this, seems like it, should be something that, can be taken care of.
I agree. We were on the phone for probably 45 minutes this morning, going back and forth about it. And to be perfectly honest with you, with the seasonal help I got in Public Works, I mean, you see the canal project that's going on, the feds came in and said we had to do, we haven't even had time to go up there and correct that, just because everything else we've got going on.
Well, what's the correction gonna be?
Well, I mean, we gotta do something with those
Yeah,
ruts
definitely.
before somebody falls and breaks an ankle or something.
Right, might want to let a different engineer take a look at it if Mr. Long hasn't changed it. See if it's designed correctly. If it's
Why don't we
designed correctly,
invite
that's all you can
Mr.
do.
Long here to explain to all of us why it's not their problem?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we could.
I mean, if you can't resolve it, before the next council meeting, then yes, he has to be here.
Yeah, I would agree. Do we agree to bring in Mr. Long?
Yes.
All right, so if this isn't resolved, Steve, by the next meeting, then please arrange to have Bill here. And we'll discuss it.
That's all I have for old business.
Little old business?
No.
Rich? I'm too tired for old business. I'm hurting real bad, so I'm gonna have to give you guys a gift tonight and close old business. Let's move to new business. Okay, new business. Well, first off, for new business,
before we forget, we have an emergent issue regarding the planning board. So we have to do a first reading on an ordinance by title only. You want to?
You want me to read it? Yeah.
Yes.
It was discussed in executive session. And for the public's benefit, Mr. Mayor, you want me to quickly explain it?
Yeah.
It's because the
Yeah.
code of township still reflects land use board appointments and as well as reorganizations to be held in July. There was a discussion over those appointments and the potential that there would not be enough seats to get planning board business done. There was a need to amend the ordinance of Mount Holly. So by title tonight, it would be an ordinance of Mount Holly Township amending the code to conform and align the various appointments, including the land use board members, with the calendar year and the council reorganization. Included in that's the title. But included in that, I'll have it drafted for second reading forthwith.
So to simplify that, basically we need to realign the board's appointments to match our new reorg date, which is January 1st. So we're shuffling the boards now to resemble our own terms, since we fill these seats in some cases. In other words, there's a council member on planning board, there's a designated member on planning board, and UEZ and ITT. There's a council member on ITT. So there's or IT. I added a T on there. Sorry, double T. Anyhow, so that's what this is. It's just a to do backroom reorganization of the details of the terms to match the terms of council. So that's what that is. Nothing, and it's emergent because it's necessary with no notice, quick work here because of the timeliness of pending applications to the land use board is what we've been informed. So do I have action on this?
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance not only as read by our solicitor.
I'll second.
Can I have roll call, please?
Mr. Belton?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. DeFalco?
Yes.
Mr. Dow?
Yes. Okay. All right. That was the first order of new business. Going back to the council. New business, Dwayne?
Nothing.
Jason? Luke? Rich?
No.
Good. New business. There's flyers here tonight for this event that we're having next Monday, and I'd like to see if the council agrees that any event that we are involved in, that at our meetings we bring some flyers, like for the 4th of fireworks show, the car show, whatever it is on Fortune's Day, first night, whatever it is. Let's bring some, for the public and for council members themselves. I actually was a little short on the fireworks show.
I'd actually go one step ahead, if that's okay, one step further. On top of having them here, we should have them upstairs, and we should also be in communication with West Hampton, Southampton, East Hampton, and Hainsport, and have them distributed in their public spaces as well. I've done it before with past events. No one has a problem, so if we could just make that
We do, like this stuff that we have printed over there, the flyers for this event, we will also put second, third floor to
And
that
like
other
Rick-
stuff.
and like
Yeah, that
Rick
other
was
stuff's
saying,
not an issue.
because they're all posted on the website, and we'll put it in there.
That way, we can get it out, and, we will have access to them ourselves as well, take them to our jobs, put them on, bulletin boards, wherever we can legally, put them up, so that was, one thing. The Historical Preservation Commission was, talking about a letter that they would like to have put out in the tax bill something in regards to the historical district. And they're going to send something over for us to review. I don't know if you received it.
No, I haven't. As
Yeah,
soon as I get it, I'll forward it.
Alicia and the commission came up with something. I haven't seen it. They just mentioned it at a Main Street, I think it was Main Street Mount Holly meeting, actually. You know, in the bill, doesn't cost us anything. I guess targeted just to the historical district folks, you know, residences, so that they just understand. I mean, I'm guessing here. I haven't seen the thing, but it was the way it was put out. It was, you know, just so they understand there's an historical commission and, you know, there's responsibilities and stuff like that. Of course, I told them that we would need to review anything that goes out, you know, so.
As soon as I get it, we'll forward it. I haven't seen it.
We'll review it and decide, you know, what our will, the will of the council is on that. I have a concern, George, that apparently Medford got gigged for its legal services, and we're still looking for the contract, and we're still looking for. I haven't seen it, you know. So do we have
I
it?
just saw a cover letter that I got it returned and was signed by you.
Oh, okay. Well, where is the copy?
I mailed. I was on vacation last week, and I mailed it out a couple weeks ago to the chief, and
I haven't received it yet. And like I said,
I got a cover letter back.
Oh, all right.
Saying
Well,
huh?
I thought I signed it all along, but.
Hold on a second. It was, as Vicki was taking over the clerk's office, it was found in a desk drawer somewhere upstairs. Like I said initially, when Councilman Felton did it.
Now, you know, my memory's failing, you know, as a day. Does it spell out what's covered under the cap that we've kicked around and stuff? Because